What is up, guys? Falcon back again, and today we are working on a 2007 Dodge Ram, and we are going to be replacing the radiator. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to do it. So here we go, guys. We have this 07 Dodge Ram. This Ram does have a Hemi engine on it, but Hemi 4.6 and 3.6, they all carry pretty much the same radiator. So this is what we're gonna replace right here, radiator. And the reason why we're gonna replace it, right, you can see this red stuff all right here that is stained. That is actually gonna be coming off of the radiator, and you can see it right there where it was leaking from. So that is the reason why we're gonna replace it. So first off, we need to remove the fan shroud, and we need to remove this water reservoir here. So we have one bolt here, and then on the bottom it just kind of slides down. So we're just gonna pull it straight up. It has two connectors down there. I'll show you once I pull it out. That way you guys can see where it's coming from. All right, so here we go, guys. I went ahead and removed the air box just to give us a little bit of a better view. Usually when I'm doing this, I don't remove it, but that way you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. It's only gonna be a flathead to undo that clamp, and then the whole air box just leaves straight up. But here it is. This is the water reservoir, and right there on the bottom we have two connectors, and then we should have this little water line here. That's for it goes down there. But I think there is a here's a splicer right here, and we can take it off from there. That's gonna be for the wiper blade, so we're just gonna take that off. This one here, it went to here, so we just pull it straight out, and it has one more 10mm bolt here. So it has two, one there and one there, and all I'm going to do is pull it straight out after I undo those connectors. Okay, so now on the driver's side, I'm going to remove this hose right here, and all I'm going to do is undo this clamp, press it back, and then put it down here, and then I'm going to remove this hose and just kind of like put it somewhere back here where it's not on the way or anything. Now, of course, you have to drain your radiator, but if it's leaking on yours like this one, you probably don't have much water or coolant in there anyway. So let me get that hose off real quick. With this hose out of the way, now the next thing to do is gonna be to remove the actual fan blades right there, which I already took off, but I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Let me take off this fan shroud. That way you guys can see where I hooked up the fan blades from. On the fan shroud, we have two 13mm bolts, one on this side and one on the other side, and then after that all we do is just pull it straight up. Now before you do this, you have to take off that fan. All right, so here it is. Now I put the fan assembly just enough so you guys can see it. Of course, usually you have the fan shroud here on the way, but just so I can show you guys how it looks like with the fan shroud in there, I wanted to just put it on so I can show you guys. And then right here, you need to find something to put in these two little holes here so you can hold the water pump in place. And then you're gonna turn this nut here counterclockwise, so you're gonna turn it this way to be able to undo the fan shroud right there. And that's how you can take off the fan blades. And then after that, you can actually take off the fan shrouds, or you can take them both out at the same time. But to take off the fan blades, I have this special tool here, and all I do is with this tool, you use this one right here, and you put those two hooks in that water pump, and then you use this one. It has a lot of different sizes. As far as this one, I use this 36mm to take off that nut. Now with the shroud and the fan out of the way, all we got left to do is we have this lower radiator hose here, which same thing is gonna have a clamp. Usually the clamp is facing down because that's usually where they put it on. And you have the drain plug right here on the driver's side, this one right here. So just in case we have any water left on the radiator, we're gonna remove that drain plug and let it drain out. So we are almost done. We have like 6 bolts left to do. There is one right here. You guys can see it right there, that one right there. And there's gonna be 2 holding this. I think this is the transmission cooler, I think it is. And it's gonna be 1 bolt right here on the bottom and another one right there. So the best way to do this is we're gonna undo the 2 bolts right here on the sides for the radiator. There's gonna be one right here and one right there. Those are 10mm. So once we do those, once I undo those 2 bolts, I'm gonna let the radiator kind of hang forward, and then that way I can get to this bolt here, and then on this side we're just gonna pull it that way, and it comes off of those brackets there. And then the one in the bottom, once the radiator is leaning forward, you have the 2 bolts in the bottom. I believe they're like 10 millimeters on the bottom, or 8 millimeters, but I'll show you once I get there. And that one's a 10 millimeter right there. So let me undo those 2 bolts, let it hang, and kind of show you guys how it looks once it's hanging. So here it is. I already undid those 2 bolts, and you can see everything kind of leans that way. So there it is, that 110 millimeter bolt right there. And on the bottom, you guys can see it down there. Let's see it right there. There's another 10 millimeter bolt there. And if you guys look through this opening, there is the other one right there that holds this one. So I'm gonna undo this one first, and then kind of pull it out of the way, and then same thing on the bottom. These 2 right here are just gonna stay here and kind of hang there while we remove the radiator and put in the new one. Alright, so there it is, guys. I already removed the radiator. Like I said, just that 10 millimeter bolt moves this one out of the way. And then on the bottom, for the 2 that I showed you on the bottom, it actually has a nut on the back, a 10 millimeter nut. So you might want to get a wrench back there and hold the nut while you undo the bolt, or undo the nut while you hold the nut, whatever it is. But that one's gonna go right there on the bottom. You guys can see the holes here and right there on the other side. But there it is, guys. And now just to put the new one back on. As far as the taking it off, after he does that, you just pull it straight out. It just kind of sits in this hook right here, and on the bottom it has another little hole where it just joins in. So all you do is just pull it straight up. But that is pretty much it. Now just make sure that you do everything in reverse order. Put this one back on, put the bottom cooler first, and then you put the top one on. And that is it. Put everything back on. Alright guys, well that is it. I really hope this video helps somebody out. If you have any questions, whether it's on this job or any other job, just comment down below, and I'll try to get to it as fast as I can and try to help you out as much as I can. Alright, well I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell for me. I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching, and you guys have yourselves a great day.